How far? Now you guy will get the story we want share.
Never. Never.
So we define person with one guy, they say name na king.
Okay. DF, let me quickly say this real quick. One of the problem that we have is sometimes the Nigerian community. If you have your family around the Nigerian community, it is very, very toxic. And they can actually ruin your marriage for sure. If you letting your wife, I've been here in the US for quite some time with my family, and we don't hang out with Nigerians. We can say hello, anything that has to do with their churches, doing whatever, they are gathering, they are very, very toxic. They claim to go to all the churches and everything. Trust me, they will look for one way or the other to come into your marriage and break your marriage so that they can actually have the opportunity to mock you and laugh at you. Most especially the ones that call themselves pastors. I don't want to be naming names. Here in California or here in Fresno where I live, I can actually name names. I just have to pull over real quick because I was driving. I can actually name names. Keep your family out of the Nigerian community if you want to have peace with your marriage. They are very, very dangerous. They can ruin your marriage. I always say this to everybody. If you just migrate to anywhere, keep your family to yourself 100%. You taking your business to other people outside, telling your friend, or sometimes your closest friend can be the most dangerous person to you. They will give you advice in order for them to have the opportunity to laugh at you or mock you. That's what they do. 100%. Here in California, that not just only in California, even in places like Texas and all of them.
It's worse in Houston. It's worse in Houston, not just California.
That's exactly what they do. They are very, very toxic. They're looking for, they don't have any other thing because all their life is competition. The life they live is competition so that they can have the opportunity to mock you, have the opportunity to laugh at you. I think that's the problem those people have because they didn't know what was going on. Most especially the females. They'll come around and lie to you just to tear your family apart. I've been here in years for a good 19 years. Myself, my wife, in fact, my entire family, we all live here. There is nothing like Nigerian gathering. Anytime we're doing anything, it's just within us here. My dad lives here. My mom lives here. My brothers and sisters and all of them, they all live here. My dad has a total of 19, maybe 21 grandchildren here. We all live here. Whenever we are doing anything, strictly family, no other extended family is invited. We keep ourselves, keep whatever we're doing to ourselves. If everybody remains the same way and forget about all the Umune Day or whatever they call it, trust me, they will have peace. You can settle whatever, every family has issue. You can settle whatever issue you have with your family in your house without having anybody come in, without looking for a second opinion. So that's all I have to say. Keep your family out of the Nigerian community, and that's it.
I guess.
So the Nigerian community abroad is this toxic.
Yes.
They are very, very toxic. 100%. Yes. All of them. All the tribe. All of them.
Yes. See,
as in this, it's not just Igbo or Yoruba.
All of them.
Daddy Freeze, I live 1 hour away from where our people stay. When I mean 1 hour, I mean I live 1 hour away from where Nigerian communities stay for this same reason. I barely go to the store, the African stores. For that reason, I barely cook our food because I go once in a blue moon. Exactly. This is super true. When I mean true, I mean 120%.
The phrase that have been in America for good 19 years. No gathering, no Nigerian. You can have. In fact, you don't see Nigerians in my house.
You don't see.
Never.
No.
None.
No.
I brought my wife. My wife came from Nigeria. My first daughter was born in Nigeria, and we are all here. No family gathering.
If I open my mouth and tell you the messages men sent to my ex when I used to live with him on how to treat me as a wife, if you see the messages that fellow men were advising their fellow men,
Nigerian community is toxic.
I deliberately ran away from all of them. They are horrible.
They might not come here to tell you truth. They are looking for where to mock you. And two, their life is full of competition. When you start doing that, they make you live the life of competition.
But you know the funny thing?
What they
at the
wear
end of
and
the day,
everything.
because you're right, they know what they are
What
doing.
they're doing, 100%. They actually
they know what they're
doing, 100%.
Doing. You know, they super know what they're doing, because I have a lot of experiences with them when it comes to things like that.
I agree 2000% on what this brother has just said. You understand? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I agree 100% with what you have said. You know, in order to keep your marriage sane, in order to keep your marriage in this part of the world, you need to distance yourself from this toxic set of people.
It's not set of people. Distance yourself from the Nigerian community.
Keep
your family, your marriage away from it.
Let me tell you something.
Especially if you have a family.
Let me tell you something.
If you have your family,
it's not
keep them off.
It's not just
that
the
doesn't mean you
Nigerian
don't attend church or things like that.
It is. I'm partly Ghanaian too. Yeah. It's not just the Nigerian community. The Ghanaian community. Sometimes the Ghanaian community too. Do you understand? You need to distance yourself away from these people, because they give you all sorts of silly advices. You understand? I don't even listen to anybody, because my face is not even down for anybody, and I don't live anywhere close to them. If you want to live where I live, then your brain must be working. You understand? In order to live where I live, you know? So I'm far away from them. But one other thing is that, I understand that sometimes that people have differences in their home. There is no home that does not have any
differences.
There is no home that does not have differences. But you know, I think it's best for you to get used to not reporting your husband to people and not reporting your wife to people. Do you understand me? You don't report your husband or your wife to people. Even in Nigeria, you don't carry your problem to your mother-in-law, and you don't carry your problem to your mother. They will
absolutely
never, because everybody will be biased. You understand? So it's best that the both of you sit down.
You are telling people that if they have problems in their marriages, they should not seek their parents' advice.
No. It is best. I'm not saying that you should not seek your parents' advice, but it is best to keep it within between you and your husband, because there are biases. Do you understand me? When you go, you understand, when you go start reporting your husband to his mom, or your husband goes to start reporting you to your mom, or you start reporting your husband to your sister, they'll start having you understand, biases against the other party. You understand? So it is best for the both of you to sit down as human beings and talk it out. And if it's not working between the both of you, it's fine. But a situation whereby having friends who trooping in and out of your house, like as if your house is a restaurant that you open, is just wrong.
No, sometimes it's not all about trooping in and out. What happens is this. You see that community of friends that you hang around with. A man's house is on fire. He's out there with those groups, those gangs. You check those gangs. You see that they have issues in one. I mean, look, it takes somebody who has it takes a happy person to make you happy. Anyone who is not a happy person, you can't be happy near a happy person. It takes you can't be happy around a bitter person. Okay? Now, you have something going on in your home, for example, and then you just, leave the house because you're trying to cool off, and then you go and mix yourself in a group of people that don't have this, they have the same thing going on with them. Maybe they ran away from theirs. What kind of advice are you seeking from them? They're not going to give you, they're not going to tell you something meaningful.
Yep.
They will still mislead you. So how about you go to people who are happy? People who can tell you, okay, this if you must, that's if you must go to somebody. How about you go to people who can be honest with you and tell you, okay, you have to go back home. When I was dating this guy, and it's like that thing, he had this friend that was just alone. He didn't have a girlfriend. In fact, his wife left him with the kids and stuff like that. He will always go to him. Most nights when he is like, if he needs to leave, he just look for any slighted reason just to run out. You are a married man, 2 a.m. every day. You're out there hanging around lounges with your friend, and you have somebody in the house.
House of Gold got me a shuttle. I've never had a shuttle before in my life on TikTok. House of Gold, thank you so much. I know she's watching on Instagram and goes to gift me on TikTok. House of Gold, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Also, a big shout out to Akinwale Olawale Victor and Mohammed S. Ibrahim. They're enjoying the program so much, they decided to gift me some money on Instagram because Instagram doesn't have badges or anything like that. Thank you so much, Akinwale Olawale and Mohammed S. Ibrahim, who sent very nice gifts. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And all of a sudden, somebody's buying me more money guns. Hannabelle_H, 2 money guns. Thank you so much, Hannabelle. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Okay, so let me bring a guy now, because there must be guys who are going through whatever it is that these people are talking about. And I'm so amazed. I never knew that having Nigerian family abroad could be this toxic. So I'm hearing all sorts of stuff, and I'm particularly worried. So if I lived abroad, it would be wrong for me to mingle with the Nigerian community because they could actually put me inside a lot of trouble with my home. Wow.
You have to know the kind of friends you have. You know, there's this Yoruba proverb that they say Tobaba Ajari Wajegbe. Thank you for correcting me. So that
you make your friends, but I mean, just keep anything family related issue away from it. Like I go for functions, Nigerian, functions once in a while, but I live far away from everyone. And the reason why I chose to live far away from everyone is because I am a woman. It's easy for me to go to the store. There's no time I step out there that I don't get people admiring me. So how many of them am I going to say no to? I'm going to come across people that are nice. I'm going to come across people that may be of help to me in one form or another. Before you know it, I start counting census. I get to know a lot of them. And that's not what I want. If I were a man, I can stay there and mind my business. I mean, I would be the one to approach a woman, but I'm a woman. So the reverse is the case. So it's okay to attend functions if you're invited based on people you know once in a blue moon, but not dining and, throwing yourself in them, because to be honest with you, they're no good. Their mind, they are full of competition. It's all about competition. It's all about advice. They like to mislead. The funny thing is they won't even see a good opportunity and let you know about it. They barely tell you what to do to succeed. It's all about competition amongst themselves.
Really, to be honest, it's not a good place. Because what do you gain from all these people? They just
experienced this level of jealousy before. If you're a man and you've experienced this level of jealousy before, can you send me a request? Let me bring you live, but just type first. In Nigeria, it's different. Abroad, people are worried. You see, everybody's competing with everybody else. So instead of them sharing good advice with you, you are surrounding yourselves by people who you think are your friends, but are nothing but parasites and vampires. So I do understand that. But I want to see if they're men. Okay. DJ Smooth Paradox. Okay. I've sent you a request. Said now, strangers abroad go help you pass. Razak, let me also see if I can invite you.
Maybe you remove me
my
so
darling,
someone else can come
Samaria, thank you so much. Thank you so much. DJ Paradox.
Right.
How are you?
Identify.
So let me bring Razak. Okay, let me see if Samaria truly left, because sometimes you think they left, but Instagram will still be holding them back. Samaria, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, yes, you did leave. So let me send Razak message. You know, there's one thing I always tell my wife. I'm like, I don't like crowd around myself. So I didn't even know that serious problem abroad.
Yeah, my husband tells me the same thing too. You know, he does not like it. He does.
What that guy, last caller, said, he said that avoid anywhere they are Nigerians, avoid your family abroad. The guy went in hard. Razak, how are you? All right.
I'm good, and you, Daddy Priest? This is the first time I've been on your page. I'm very happy. I'm super great.
I'm so
because I watch you almost every day.
Okay. So share your experiences, sir, because my battery is about to die. So I'm
Okay.
going to.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
I live in New York City for the past 26 years now. I and my wife and all my beautiful kids.
Wow.
I don't have problems with anybody. I cruise with Nigerian community here. Even yesterday, we celebrated Mother's Day together. We serve the ladies at our congregation. My focus here is my life first. My daily life, my work, my job, my money, my kids, my wife. And my kids are doing so great. They're doing seriously great. They're one of the most important kids all over the world. Then I thank God so much. I've been married almost 28 years now. I got joy. Even 2 years ago, my daughter finished Columbia University. My second daughter, she's preparing to go to Ivy League school again. And I don't have problem with Nigeria. I was born and raised in Lagos Island. I already understand myself, my life. I know what I want. I cruise with, when people good or no good, it doesn't bother me. I know what I want. You have to have confidence in you before you dealing with people. With that, you have no problem.
Okay. Can I come in?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so thanks for having me. I stay in the UK, like you know, and let's not mix a whole lot of things up. If anybody doesn't want to hear the truth right now, they better just turn off, right? Because I'm about to give it raw. A few things they said about the Nigerian community. That is partly correct. But the problem is not the Nigerian community. It's about the individuals and what they choose to do and how they choose to behave. I'm a DJ. I play in a lot of parties, Nigerian parties most especially. And I see a lot of things that go on. So that aside, let's not flood that issue about mixing up. It's okay to mix up with your people. It's okay. There's nothing bad in it. You're just going to have to learn how to control what you do, what you say, and where you go. I don't see the Asians having this problem. I don't see the Indians or the Pakistanis having this problem of socializing with their likes. That aside. Now, the issue with marriages breaking, I have experience of marriage breakup after 2 years. A lady that I dated for years in Nigeria, and I brought her here. And after 2 years, we were, it just went south quickly too. But it wasn't because she wasn't a good person. It was because she chose the path of whatever it is that she chose to do. I could not have called myself a saint then because I was probably just struggling myself. So the issues, let's not mix them up. Individual problems can make somebody choose not to be who they were. So people change, and the transformation within us as Nigerians is a lot more. So it's making the right.
Send me a request. Let me bring you back. For light, send me a request. Let me bring you back. I don't know what happened. I lost you for one reason or the other. For light, send me a request. Let me bring you back.
So the women, you had some women on earlier. They can actually speak on their situation and their experiences. We also do have other experiences. Women, Nigerian women, I vowed not to date a Nigerian again, ever again. I did. I vowed.
Why?
Marriage was,
what made you
why? Because sorry?
What made you take such a vow?
Well, because Nigerian women seem to be a little bit more too smart for me. Let me put it like that. They're always coming to me with an agenda.
Oh, wow.
So that made me date more of the Southern Africans because they're a little bit more loyal, you know, the Sierra Leoneans. Having said that, though, I ended up marrying a Nigerian again, but it was a different kind of circumstance, you see? But for a very long time, for about 10 years, I would not date a Nigerian. A Nigerian woman, because of that mentality. They come with a very strong mentality, aggressive mentality as well.
Continue.
You say so, that's why. So for those that these men, I know some men are a bit, you know, cultural or traditional.
Back for you, sir. I will call you. I'm live and you are disrupting my life. If I have any feedback at all, I will be the one to call you. I charge people to talk on the phone because the time I used to talk, I can respond to 20 text messages. So text, if I have any need to call you, I will call you. Thank you, sir. You are calling me, asking me for a favor, and then you are burning up my phone. And then at the end of the day, I'm not able to do it. Imagine once a call comes in, it disrupts all the lines that are working at the same time. It's so annoying. And I've told you, send me a message. It's not like you call me to ask me what's my account number, then I can be picking your call. Or you have a delivery for me. It is me, we do something for you, and then you want to kill me that wants to do the thing for you. Maybe that they calm down. Please, if you are watching on TikTok, big shout out to everybody on TikTok. Thank you so much. Special request to everyone who made my day special. Hannabelle H, thank you. Chi, my B, thank you. Nkosana Ubukulu, thank you so much. Cha Cha Empire TV, thank you so much. Miss Jay Shockey, thank you so much. And special thanks today to House of Gold, who sent me a shuttle. I've never had a shuttle before. I want to see that again. Can somebody send me another shuttle, at least before we close? So there was some other guy who said he wanted to come live. I just want to take one more story.
Explicit, I think.
Explicit. Okay. Yes, explicit vibes. All right. Remember, when you come to my live, you cannot use bad words. Some of you don't know some of you don't know that the S word is a bad word. You don't know. Some of you don't know that the F word is a bad word. You just use all of them. You think you can. No. You guys are giving me a lot of stress from community guidelines. So remember, your words must be clean. If you want to say intercourse, say it like intercourse. Don't try to say all those other things. So hello, my brother.
Hello, Dr. Freeze. Sorry. So this is my 2 cents, right? I listened to the ladies earlier, and the way that Freeze phrased the statement, saying that, you know, he's really alarmed about the fact that he's hearing that Nigerians should be stayed away from abroad. To tell you the truth, I've never had this experience most people are talking about, and it's kind of weird to me that we always see the negative about ourselves real quickly and we project it. So in the US here, I've lived in Colorado, I've lived in Georgia, I'm currently in Texas, and I've always been in the presence of Nigerians, and put it that way. And one thing I notice about us is when we're abroad, we tend not to see race, culture, religion. Everybody's pretty much united. It's one thing I notice. I could be in the presence of an Igbo person, an Hausa person, a Yoruba person, and we're all cool like that. when it comes to marriages, I don't think it's fair for us to impose people's failures in their marriages on the community as an excuse. Like the lady said earlier, that if you go tell your marriage issues to somebody, why are you doing that in the first place? That's the first thing I always ask the question. Like, don't do that. Because if you ask for something, you're going to get something in return.
Exactly.
Right? And there's a statement in Yoruba that
yeah.
are you getting my point? So if you are of the kind of nature of always spilling out personal information, people are going to tell you all kinds of things from their own understanding of life. And their understanding might be skewed, right?
Yeah.
And they're telling you that out of the honesty of their heart, because that's what they believe. And it might not be what is necessarily good for you. So I don't think it's a Nigerian community thing, because I will tell you the truth. The best experience I've had in the US has been amongst Nigerians, right? My first house that I bought, right, it was from a Nigerian realtor. My first house that I bought, right? Like, the first car I ever owned was co-signed for me by a Nigerian, a woman in my church, right? She helped me co-sign it. So I've had good experiences being around Nigerians, right? I just don't want us to label the Nigerian community abroad as toxic.
No.
Right? I feel that gentleman, the way he spoke from a place of personal hurt. That's why I talked about wanting to drop names. So somebody might have hurt him personally. That has nothing to do with the Nigerian community. I promise you. I used to belong to the Nigerian community, the Colorado Springs Nigerian community. We had a whole association. We used to do food drives. We go out to the soup kitchen. We give out stuff. It's really fun to be around them, right? We have end of year celebrations. We do Christmas parties, all that stuff. It's fun to be around them. Now, when it comes to marital issues, I believe it's a personal thing to the marriage. It has nothing to do with the community, because you could be anywhere. Anybody can give you any kind of advice. Have you looked at your own personality, your own character, your own behavior within your home, right? And you know how they say, misery loves company, right? Yep. So when you're telling your issues like that, there are people that have similar things, and they just band together and they just say all kinds of things to suit or appease themselves, and they carry that into their marriages. So I wouldn't advise anybody to distance themselves from a Nigerian community, because it can be very lonely abroad. It can be very lonely.
Yeah.
And the Western culture is a culture of mind your own business. So you can literally be in a city for a whole year plus and not have friends. And your next door neighbor, you probably have never spoken to each other before.
For years.
The first time I spoke to my neighbor in a year was when his dog came through the fence into my compound. That was the first time we ever spoke. He's a white man. That is the way they live, right? And if you're a Nigerian and we associate, right, who is the best person to associate? Your people. I get to my point. So I tend to like dissociate myself with this ideology of avoid Nigerians. Because if you do avoid Nigerians, who are you going to associate with? That's another question.
Yeah. DJ Smooth Paradox, let me hear you. You are so...
Okay. So I partly agree with my brother here, but I don't fully agree. There are a lot of Nigerians that I have associated with, and they have been toxic. And in the same vein, there has been some Nigerians that are exceptional, you know, but you would always speak from your experiences or that which you have seen. So you can't assume. So I'm not going to assume that every Nigerian community will be bad, but I can tell you for a fact that a lot of them are toxic. You know, I don't agree with the man earlier that said avoid them totally, but I do understand where he's coming from, because like I said, I mix up with a lot of Nigerians socially. I don't go hang out with them. We play at parties, you know, so we know each other, we know. But I don't go into their business, and I don't give them that opportunity to come into my business. I don't do church anymore as well. I did that extensively, and I got burned big time. Nigerian churches. So again, I don't want to associate myself with that kind of environment ever again. You see? And I would not let my child go through the same as well. I'm not saying everybody's bad, but I'm telling you that we as a people need to look at ourselves inwards and know that we have something in our head that isn't correct, that is just not right. And we need to have that mindset, reset, to help us in the future. Let's not try to paint anything good that is bad. Let's say it like it is. We got problems. you know, and the problems come from us, from Nigeria, from our parents and our grandparents. We have problems. And if we don't face those problems and actually try to renew our minds, we will continue to paint, you know, like a whitewash.
Let me say something. Smooth paradox. I live in an estate in Lekki. There is a guy in my close. We live in an estate. My house is not fenced. I'm sure you've seen one or two videos of Taste Buds walking and me following her. Yeah. My estate is fenced, but my house is not fenced. Do you know I have a neighbor that I only greeted once, and I've lived here for 7 years. What happened that day? I have a convertible. And because convertibles have soft tops, if you park them under the shade, they tend to get moldy. So every week, like a religion, I have to drive my convertible to a sunny spot and open the convertible so that the interior can dry up so that there will be no mold.
Yeah.
So that particular day, where I usually park my car in the sun, some people had parked there, so I couldn't use that spot. So I parked in front of my neighbor's house. 2 hours later, when I felt that the car had collected enough sun, I went outside. I saw the guy had blocked me with his car. I knocked the door, telling him I'm so sorry I parked him. This was the only place I could get sun. Don't be angry. I don't know where the guy lives. I just know that once in a while he comes, once in a while he goes. The guy greeted her, came out, removed his car, removed my car, went to park. From that day till today, we have not spoken. Before that day, we have not spoken. So this whole idea of I don't talk to my neighbor. If you live in metropolitan Lagos, you will experience the exact same thing you are talking about abroad. And in my honest opinion, it is a good thing and a bad thing. And I'll tell you why. It's a bad thing because likewise, I have two very close neighbors. We quarrel about political parties, we gist, we have fun, we help each other. If I need something, I go to their house. If they need something, they feel free to come to my house. Do you understand? If I'm eating something, like there was a time we all came together and killed a ram to celebrate election being over, even though we all disagreed on the outcome of the election. But we sat down and we killed a ram together. So yes, there's that community bonding. But you see, there's also the advantage of parents and in-laws and siblings not just being able to barge into your house the way they do it in Nigeria. In Nigeria, I grew up with somebody, you hear a knock on the door, I open, I see one of your uncles, and he's going to stay for 4 months. And I didn't like it. There's too much invasion. I know a friend who was in her 30s, and her mother would just come and knock their door. Me, if my mother was at my age, I should be able to have a party where they'll be smoking shisha. Even though I don't do shisha, personally, I don't like it. But at my age, I should be able to have, so imagine my mother just comes to boss me on a day they're having a party and there's shisha everywhere. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
I should be able to do some things that on a day my mother is coming, I'll be able to say, okay, you know what? Let me arrange myself a bit. I shouldn't just wake up one day and put at my door. So some people think it's okay. I think it is wrong.
Yep.
I think it is very bad. Parents don't know how to give children privacy. For me now, for my mother to come and visit me, if she doesn't tell me she's going to visit me, nobody opened the gate for her. You people see me here, sending code to the gate to open gate for suya and things I ordered. Till you are here live, you'll be seeing me do it.
Yeah.
And when I said it to my friend, that I said, this thing your mother just came to your house unannounced, it's not a good thing. on my turn fight. So my friend said, no, it's my mother. She can come to my house anytime. And everybody that was there agreed. Me, my mother comes to my house, I'll clear them. Partly because I am also half European. I do not accept the Nigerian culture wholeheartedly. There's also a bit of Europeanness that makes sense. I can't just wake up one day and show up at my auntie's house. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
The way they will even treat you, you know that there's something wrong. You have to inform people, respect their privacy. I remember when I was in Romania once, somebody came to visit my cousin. I was coughing. My cousin's mother cleared the person that, if you have a cough, stay in your house. Why are you coming to my house with a cough? Do you understand? Abroad people have a way they look at life, and it is not entirely wrong. I remember growing up, we used to have one auntie. My grandmother went to visit them, and my auntie cleared my grandmother. I said, why didn't you write letter? That time there was no phone. There was phone, but my grandmother didn't have a phone. She said, why didn't you write a letter and post it that you are coming? If you see the way my father and his other brothers tore that my auntie apart. Then they now asked me, said, can you? I said, I think she did the right thing. Why is she coming without writing a letter? They looked at me, they said, oh, go, hello, go. And my answer to my parents, every time they say I was dumb, is, hey, I'm still going to be more stupid. If people think I'm stupid now, don't worry. I'm going to be much more stupid, because all these things people think is sense. To me, it's nonsense. So if you think I'm stupid now, wait until tonight, girl. I mean, how Casey takes sing that song?
Fritz, can I ask a question?
Hold on. So we also need to understand that, we also need to understand that in as much as our cultures and ideologies are good, and the foreign cultures and ideologies are not understood and accepted by us, we must still learn that there's a lot about our culture and our traditions that are very invasive. People have no privacy, even financial privacy. You make money, it is assumed that it is family money.
Yeah.
You understand? A friend of mine's father told him that how could he spend money on a foreign degree, because he was going abroad to get a degree, when his younger brother needed money and he did not give him. The guy had to ask his father, said, now me born the boy or now you born him? If I know if you give up, why you no give him? So there is no abroad, you can't try it. Your mother cannot come and meet you abroad and say you are not helping your brother. It is impossible. Abroad, your mother, I was watching Judge Judy. A girl used her mother's credit card to go and do liposuction. They asked her why. She said her mother was living in her house rent-free. The fact that somebody is living in your house does not mean you can go and use their credit card. Nigerian mother could ask you for loan, say, borrow me 500K. You borrow her. Then she
will see him again.
A month. Then 2 months later, mommy, you've not given me my money. Am I not the one that carried you? Drank my breast. I carried you in my stomach. So we also need to take a look at all these things. And yes, everybody here has a point. Both the people believe that, I roll a lot with the Nigerian community abroad, maybe because I don't live there. And one thing with me is I am the king of boundary setting. My wife will tell you, I set boundaries for my children have boundaries. My children, where I born, my son cannot just wake up and barge into my room. What if I'm doing something that is not his business at that time? My mother, I give everybody in my life boundaries. The only person that does not have boundaries is my wife. Everybody in my life has boundaries. So when I relate with you and I put boundaries, it's hard for you to offend me. You might annoy me, but there's nothing me and you are going to do that we join money together. So most traditional men don't set boundaries. So when you go abroad and you don't have boundaries, people come to your house anyhow. You don't have any boundaries. I said you're the only one that doesn't have boundaries. So that's my take. The gentleman wanted to talk. X, I've been waiting your name.
The question I was going to ask is,
yes, go ahead.
In relation to the topic about divorce and marriages, like I still don't understand the correlation between the Nigerian community and people getting divorced. Because just like you said, you should know how to set boundaries. Are you getting my point? Because there's another Yoruba saying that I don't see why we are making this a Nigerian community thing, like it's causing the people to
but you're missing the sorry bro, you're missing their point. Their point is that there are influences that exist within those communities that affects you in your relationship at home.
You know what?
So if you
DJ, you are both saying the same thing. If the wall does not open its mouth, lizard cannot enter. That's Togiri Obalano Alangba Olewobe.
Yeah.
It's a Yoruba. Now, if you carry your life and go and give the community and you don't set boundaries, you cannot dictate how they will react.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah, but you may set boundary as a man or as a woman. Your partner may not set boundaries. So you will be fighting a proxy war. You see? So some people will believe that the best thing to do is to just stay away and not get yourself into that mix, because that could be toxic for you, you see? So that is the point.
I want to say something, and people are asking for my account. It is pinned there, 100-131-7326. If you're enjoying the topic, if you're watching on TikTok, remember to send me money guns, and my top gifters will be specially appreciated today. Sadly, nobody is buying my stars on Facebook. I'm not happy with Facebook people, and all of you watching on Instagram that refuse to go to Facebook. You want me to start crying now? Okay, Fola, it's over to you.
You see, I agree with what they're all saying and what you said. One thing about marriage, I'm not a god with marriage. Everybody, like I said earlier on, everybody has their ups and downs in marriage, but there should be an understanding between the both of you, yeah, that you are not going to start saying your matter outside, up and down. Because if it gets into the wrong ears, yeah, as long as you keep hearing the same chat about how women are liberated in this country, how women have the power in this country, how women are this, how women are that, how women are this, you will, at some point, you just like, you tell your husband, guy, you know, you cannot come and do anything to me, I'll drive you out. You know, it happens. You know, I just feel that women should, and men, because it's not just only women who go through this, men to go through this too, you know, you should learn to set boundaries. And that that's not just your family, it's your friends too. What you say to them and what you hear from them. If you are that kind of woman that when they tell you things, you try and start seeing all the fake things that they do, you follow them too. But if you're a woman or a man that you're you understand, you will know how to hold your relationship. So I strongly agree that with explicit that if you roll with the right crowd, yeah, you will not have any toxicity around you.
Let me tell you a story. Yeah. When I first moved to Lagos with my ex, we stayed in an estate called Dolphin Estate. There's the duplex side of Dolphin Estate, and then there's the flat, police barracks. We stayed in the flat. She had a friend called Patience. And I remember one day, there was a woman that was selling things. A woman that was selling about 2002. She told my ex that, be careful with this girl. Because my friend and my ex and the girl were getting very chummy. I'll come out. You know, it's not like now. You get the way I go house now. See the same woman in my house every night with taste buds. One declare I'm go on war because I know where I'm coming from with that kind of behavior. And I remember the woman telling my ex that girl is not, she should be careful with the girl. My ex came to report to me. Me at that time, I wasn't concerned the woman. You understand? My ex now went to tell the girl. The girl now went to fight that woman. In 2014, when my ex was coming to pack her load, finally, she came with her patients.
Oh, wow.
It took about 11 years, but it was when she came with that, I now remember, guess what? The patient too is divorced. I saw her husband. When they say, I saying to they don't get divorced. So sometimes you need to understand that there are people who love having a huge community of friends. At a point in my life too, I also had a huge community of friends. Because I'm in a new, not a new relationship, but a newish relationship. And I must have learned something from my old relationship.
Yeah.
One of the things I learned is the fewer people that know about your matter, the better.
Exactly.
I used to talk freely in front of this same lady. And when I go, my ex will make certain comments later on that I realized that she and that lady tabled that matter, that conversation we had. There were things that same lady used to say about me. And my ex would jabber am. And I go just look and say, why is someone like this your friend? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So it took me a long while. But you see, guess what? I also had I didn't have toxic friends. I never had friends that used to advise me. But my ex was suspicious of all my friends. She just felt that they were all advising me, that they all used to carry big. Even the ones that used to warn me those days that, look, as a man, you have to put your family first. Even those ones, they won't call everybody, Morogani, everybody was giving me bad. And to be honest, most were not giving me advice. I don't be the kind of person good at the advice. I stop on gone. But I can see the wisdom in isolating yourself and your family to protect yourself. There is plenty wisdom there.
Exactly.
Everybody who has been in when I made marriage, you can be in a marriage for 15 years, the two of you are waiting to divorce. There are some couples that they are just waiting for the last child to go to university, made a divorce. But there are some people that are very good at camouflaging. Growing up, my papa go vex with you, no go talk anything. He go wait till the day where you need to talk. Meanwhile, my mother would vex and shout. I'm like my mom. I know they carry things for me. Once I don't shout for you, curse you, don't end. But my dad, on the other hand, not go say anything. Go wait 10 years. So there are different types of people. There are people who will stay together like everything is working. But meanwhile, now they fight. But they cover them. They will go church together. They will do what they need to do together, but they are not friends. Sometimes as bad as they are competing against each other. So you will see what seems to be a perfect marriage. The moment they get to the UK or the last child, the children are no longer liabilities. You picking when they enter university. Mama, if you stay this house, Papa, if you stay this house, how much time are you going to spend in the house? Is it not when you come home from university for 2 weeks? You're already on your way to you are getting a boyfriend. If they give you 1 month break, you go to look for, you go spend 2 weeks with your boyfriend, the rest for house. You go to find lie. We have project, we have practical. Am I lying? So some parents actually wait for their last kids to grow up or finish university or start university, and then you wonder that daddy and mommy, what happened? You guys were seem cool. Yes, they were tolerating each other. So, I mean, happy marriages. One of the secrets of happy marriages that anybody will tell you is no third parties. And third parties include communities.
Yeah.
The people who were giving my ex advice about me, they painted me to be a devil. I was not. I was not good, though. I was not good. Let me not come back here and tell you that I was husband of the world, or they are sharing Guinness Book of Record for husband. They will mention my name. Let us tell ourselves the truth. But I was not 10% as bad as they painted me out to be. And let me tell you, there are two ways of passing the message. There is, but he's a good guy. Then you jabber one thing. It's called the subtle incapacitation. Subtle incapacitation is a term in aviation. When a plane flies above a certain altitude, people start to lose consciousness without knowing they are losing consciousness. It's subtle. Before you know it, you have died. So imagine somebody, Olaiton coming to report her husband to me. And I'm saying, man, Olaiton, but this guy really loves you. He takes good care of you. And, it's just that short. I like so in as much as it looks like you are giving good advice, you are troubling one little thing that would germinate into problem in the future. So that's my take. We're going to come back later on at 11 o'clock, and we're going to talk about parental influence in marriage. How necessary is it? Is it necessary evil, or is unnecessary evil? 11 p.m. Do make sure you join us. Take care, and God bless you. Thank you, everyone. God Destiny, for Lighton, Exhibit, DJ. Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye. On Facebook, all my lovely people